Hey guys, this video is to go over the first problem from Operations on a Number Line Part 3. And the first problem was to look at the expression a plus b and determine if it's positive or negative. In this case, we have a negative number and we're adding a positive number. We had 68% of the class get this one correct. 46 students out of all 3 periods got it correct. 16 students got it partially correct. 17 students got it wrong. And a big part of why students got it wrong is they made incorrect generalizations. So they said things like, well, B is positive. If you add a positive, you move up on the number line, so it's going to be positive. And then on the other hand, some students said, well, you're adding a negative, which is our A, and if you add a negative, you move down on the number line, so the sum is going to be negative. And it doesn't work like that when you're adding and you have one positive and one negative. So in this case, the distances from 0 matter. In addition, I can start on either A or B. It doesn't matter. You can change the order of an addition problem. So I could start on A, and if I am going to add a positive, I'm going to move up. Since B is this distance here, if I move that same distance, I will end somewhere around here, and I will end in the negative space. So my answer will be negative. The sum will be negative. If I switch the order around and I start instead on B, I'm going to be adding a negative. And the negative I'm adding is this distance. So if I start at B, I have to move that distance. So from here, that same distance that A to 0 is, I have to move that distance and I'll land in the same spot. Doesn't matter where I start. I'll land in the negatives. So these are some of the incorrect responses that are mainly what I just talked about. The yellow ones are students that got partial credit because they either said something that could have been more precise or maybe they mentioned one thing that was inaccurate. Here are just a few examples of the ones that were correct. So negative because B has a smaller absolute value than A. If you add A and B, B's value would not be enough to get past 0. To get this one correct, you did have to talk about the distances from 0 or absolute value.